Very
Stay
cool.
ahead of the game.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, well, you got to stay completely ahead of the game. So getting ahead in the game, this is episode 4 of the Brian and Joey show. I got my boy Alan Wright out here. I got fucking Jay Slack in the back. He's
Gang.
he's all mic'd up. He's running the camera for us. Fuck, I don't even know where to start.
Let's just dive in. Well, why don't we have Alan introduce himself?
Yeah, real quick.
Little background.
Subscribe to our YouTube page, right? It's very important. We're jumping up with followers on Instagram as well. We are unfollowing a lot of people who don't follow us back. So if
Big problem.
you're not going to follow us, we ain't following you.
Nah.
You can find Alan on Facebook as Alan Wright, and also Choke Artist MMA is his Instagram handle.
Follow.
Yeah,
Follow
so
me like I'm Uncle Cracker.
So I'm going to try to throw up a bunch of videos here of me and Alan sparring. I guess, what was it, like 6 months ago, I started taking classes at 609 Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So I go there once a week. Prior to starting these Muay Thai classes, I pretty much, my record in fighting is probably 1 for 30. I got a big fucking mouth, so I'd like run my shit and then just get my ass whooped. And now I'm doing a little of my own ass whooping, as you can see in the video that's probably going to be playing over this right now. So, I mean, first things first, Al, thanks for coming back on. Actually, the first podcast I ever did was with Al.
Yeah, in the room, bro.
Dude, this is like
That was your first one, bro?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In the room, my house. We weren't even moved in all the way. Like boxes everywhere. We just set it
Hold
up.
this
on
mic
the-
up to you, bro.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you talk into that shit.
Yeah, boxes everywhere. You know what I mean? We were like just set up the mics and did it right there.
Uh-huh.
Just audio.
Yeah, try not to turn your head, bro. You got to get right into that thing because
yeah.
it's moving around.
Yeah, just audio we did in the bedroom. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, fuck, man. I mean, it is. I think I was using John Douglas's stuff when I first recorded that one.
Yeah, I remember when you guys were doing all that. I listened to it. I think I've listened to every single one you got.
Really?
You know? But
well, it's awesome having
I was
you
in
on
bad
here.
shape.
Yo, but there's a new studio currently in process of being built. Me and JoJo are getting an apartment together, and we're gonna trick out the apartment into a
So
full.
you're just coming right out and saying it, telling the world.
Yeah, you gotta keep
I'm
this
glad.
stuff.
I'm glad we're just.
What do you want to hide it?
That's how you do it, bro. You gotta,
Post the address. Right
Yeah,
now.
no. I'm just. It's cool.
it's just got to come out of nowhere. Like, bam, I got it.
Yeah, yeah. But if you tease them a little bit, like, they'll be excited to see the new studio.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we're not telling them what it looks like or anything yet.
No.
They're just like, they
Dude,
don't
I'm
even-
not. I said it was a good thing. You know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we got a bunch of topics. What did you just drop? What is that? A cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, just throwing it back to the old days.
So we got a bunch of shit we got to cover. Al, first and foremost, I'm looking at you with this knee brace on, and I remember when it first flared up. What was it, like 5 months ago, when it was like really banging you out?
Yeah, I did a super fight against this like gorilla named Mike from Team Balance and a gi though. I don't like competing in the kimono.
Right.
And I felt it a little bit, but I was just pushing through. You know what I mean? And all that happened, I went to sit back in the guard with my boy Nate. No pressure on me, nothing. It just pop, loud. You know what I mean? I knew immediately because the same thing happened to my right years ago when they shave it down.
So you got surgery on that right one already?
Yeah.
So what is the recovery process kind of been like since you had that?
What, since I had this?
Yeah. Like, what have you been doing since then? Because I know you were trying to get back into fighting and stuff like that, but your knees kind of put you out.
Yeah, I thought it was like the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like the knee, like when it popped, I'm like, you get that feeling like fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and then so I couldn't roll jiu-jitsu. That's my passion. It's my strong point. Is the ground game. I wrestled my whole life. And so I'm like, I got to do something. You know what I mean? So I had to teaching you guys in the class. I have other Muay Thai classes I was teaching that I spar with, and I was sparring a lot of boxers. So the knee surgery, or the knee being injured, actually is like a blessing in disguise because my boxing's sick right now. You know what I mean? And I learned how to apply my wrestling to my boxing. Why can I roll jiu-jitsu? I did a match in AC at the Trop with this killer named James Booth. I went like an hour straight. He ended up getting me. Why could I go?
Was that with the gi on?
No gi.
It was no gi?
Yeah. He's a monster, bro. He's like 6'5", like 250, black belt. But why could I do that in my boxing? I'm tired after like 2 minutes. I'm like, And then I started picking up on these little hints, and like I can feint to get an extra breath. There's like little secrets in boxing, just the technique, the science of it. And my wrestling, I'm applying like a southpaw that's taller than me. Like he like to post on me a lot. I do like a variation of like a Russian arm drag and come over the top. So I started applying these principles of like the wrestling and the grappling to the striking, and now it's like I'm seeing a whole nother world. Like I'm seeing openings. Like we went over that where like I seen on Gabriel Rosado his Instagram. It's like a frame to the side. It's like a little arm drag basically. Just the pressure of my wrist. You can't turn. You know what I mean? Just the pressure of my wrist.
Is that when we were throwing the jabs and you were throwing your hand out there?
The jab, frame out, right hand, and then left to the body, and then move out. You know what I mean?
Have you ever done any boxing, Joey?
Yeah, not no MMA. Just
hold that up to you. It
style.
don't sound right.
Classic style boxing.
What does that mean? Like in your backyard?
No, it just means like.
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
I was just making sure you knew. Yeah, no, I didn't do it for long. I just kind of trained a little bit when I was a kid.
And even boxing like that is beneficial for anybody, straight up. You know what I mean? Like any kind of movement and the high intensity exercise. It's kind of like a game almost. You're smashing the pads, and then to take it a step further. Like I have these guys, like even the beginners spar,
right?
But it's a Thai style sparring. It's a play sparring. So. It's more beneficial. You get that you're always in the pocket. You're always moving. Like we spar for like, even with the beginner class, for like 30 to 40 minutes. I'll do a little bit of technique because they're not going to remember over like, they're not going to retain over 3 moves. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're going to forget it. So I go over some basic stuff and then we spar and we flow. And being in that flow state, you're always aware. So like your reflexes are always there. You're not just hitting the pads. You know what I mean? Hitting the pad. Like you're not going to fight on the street and somebody's going to do like this. You know what I mean? You need to know what the body feels like. You need to know what the movement feels like, you know. Same thing with a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, man. I think like some jiu-jitsu got like watered down and soft. They want to pull guard or just only roll from the knees. And Josh Barnett talks about it. Like your legs are the biggest muscles in your body. Right. So just standing in your stance and grappling, fighting for a takedown, you'll be exhausted. And you're using all that. You got to stay crouched down. It's a lot of energy. And if you're not used to that, you're in competition or on the street, you're fucked.
Dude, like 3 minutes of boxing is probably the most tiring exercise you can do, man.
Yeah. How many rounds do you go?
I don't know. We just go one straight, like long ass round.
Well, no, but when you're in a fight.
Oh, amateurs 3 minutes. Pro is 3 5s, and a title fight is 5 5s.
5 5s
with a minute rest.
Can you imagine that?
No,
5 5s.
I can barely get 3 5.
Yeah.
What 1 3 minute?
1 3 minute.
Yeah.
At what age did you start wrestling?
Hey, watch this thing. This thing's fucking pissing me off.
Yeah, this pissed me off too. I
Yeah,
was like
4
or 5. I started as a tot in Egg Harbor Township. And
that's where you're from? That's where you grew up and everything?
Well, I started there, and then I went to Mays Landing Schools. But I didn't know my real dad. That's another part of my story. Like, I didn't know my real dad growing up. And then once I did, end up meeting him, I found out he was, like, a real good wrestler from Mapsagami High School. He won, like, state stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
so
now he's a preacher,
blood, really?
which is even crazier. You know
Really?
When I first met him, I kind of rejected him, like, you know what I mean? Like, because he's a preacher, and I kind of, like, was rejecting. That's another big part, like, rejecting, like, a higher power, or, like, basically victim mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I know I suffered from that from a long time.
Yeah.
The one thing I always, I notice in the class that we do is, like, when we're doing any sort of... when we're trying to like learn combos and stuff before we start sparring, like none of that shit sinks in. Yeah. But once we start like sparring, I kind of like figure out what's what. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like and then there's questions I get from it. You know what I mean?
And then it sparks. Like Eddie Bravo, his warm up. I respect Eddie like to the fullest. His warm ups like at class are 2 10-minute rounds, I believe, straight flow rolling. Right. So you're not drilling. It's not boring. I don't like drilling. I know I need to drill and everything, but I like being in the pocket, rolling jiu-jitsu. Like whatever I'm doing, I like doing that. You know what I mean? If I'm sparring, I'll spar. One of the best times I ever was with my stand-up, besides now, I was with Jeff Lentz, and he's way lighter than me. And we would just be anywhere, like Walmart parking lot, like Best Buy. We just break out flow sparring, like, you know what I mean? We're always moving.
Outside on Ventnor Ave.
Yeah, just now on Ventnor Ave. Luckily, the SWAT team didn't come.
No.
We should do like maybe like a prank video, like the public prank. just start fucking, going out. And if they see this guy like start scrapping on something, they're gonna be like, this is, Just an idea.
That's a good idea, dude.
Just
I'll
an
volunteer
idea.
to have him beat the shit out of me out front.
It's
We'll see
not
if
a
the
good
cops come.
idea because they're just gonna shoot me.
So-
No
yeah.
questions asked.
I was gonna say
the
that's
most horrible idea. Bro.
that could go real bad.
Yeah. No, like on some jackass shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
understand.
But Brian, how long have you been training now?
He's
when-
basically a pro. Like I'm probably gonna get him a pro fight. By next
Well, that
year.
was my no. I was actually gonna ask, are we gonna get up a little fight or what?
Brian's. I would like to get you like eventually. You know what I mean? Just as like I don't know if that would be some like there's no amateur. There's no strikes. There's no elbows. There's
What do you mean there's no strikes?
There's no elbows. You can just use the hands and they're
Oh,
big
really?
gloves. Yeah. And then when you get on the ground, they can't ground and pound except for the body. So they can't hit you on the face once you
Oh,
get to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I'd be down for that.
Just to
You know,
tell,
I
or
just-
yeah, you know what I mean?
I really don't have dude, my time is just like shot right now. You know what I mean? I'm so fucking busy, which is a good thing, you know what I mean? But like I was telling you when we were getting coffee earlier, like I would like to start getting into jiu-jitsu, but it's just like with the way my work schedule is, doing school, doing this, it's like I just can't get an hour off to like go take a class a couple times a week. And it's kind of bullshit too. Like I'm kind of making an excuse because if I really wanted to do it, I would go.
Yeah.
You know?
Just talk about the feeling, bro. I want you to describe yourself, like what you felt like coming into the Muay Thai class, and I want you to explain how you feel when you leave, and maybe how the process, how we started up. Just explain it.
All right, so how long ago did we meet? It was still warm out, wasn't it? It was like October, December?
Yeah, before the winter.
Before the winter started, yeah. So we met like last fall.
And it was just weird because I knew you were connected with Ian. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's how we got it was like weird how we got linked up. We were like supposed to meet each other, but like the way we were going to meet each other didn't work out. We just like ran into each other more or less.
yeah. The way the whole class got like.
Started, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's
pretty
crazy,
fucking, yeah,
yeah.
it's fucking cool.
And I didn't want to say nothing, but my boy Harry's like, go say something, then, bro. Like his whole model with your Muay Thai would fit in perfect with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
and I said it. You know what I mean? I didn't think nobody's gonna give me a chance like right away like that. You know what I mean? So I was like, whatever. And we've been killing it. But go ahead, explain how the class.
So pretty much what happened was, so we got started doing this class. It's like a group and like some guys I know, like we go every Thursday, right? And I remember going the first week being excited to do it, and then getting hit twice and being like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, you're like,
But then,
Shit's real.
That first bell ringer, dude.
dude, I did not like it at all, especially with his like bear claws coming at me, bro. Like I did not want to get hit.
Yeah.
And then after that, like the guys I was with wanted to go, and I was taking them, so like I had to keep going. But I remember it'd be like a Tuesday, right? And I'm like, I really don't want to go to this class, and it was all fear, really, is what it was. I was like, I don't want to go to this class. I don't want to go to this class. And then slowly I started to progress more and more, and I'm like, yo, I like this. I like this. And then like it'd be like Monday, and I'm like fired up to go. You know what I mean? And then it's like earlier. It's like after we leave on Thursdays, like Friday morning, I'm like, yo, I can't wait. You know, I got like some bruises on my legs. Like my foot's a little swollen. I'm like, I can't wait to get back there next week.
yeah, you feel a part of it. Even I was talking about that. Even the 1 day a week, I'm like, I never used to think anybody could get like progress at all just 1 day a week. You know what I mean? Maybe
Right.
a little bit of mental, like high intensity exercise, like endorphins release. That's cool. You know what I mean? But as far as the skill level, I didn't think anybody would be able to get good 1 day a week. Just starting out with how they started, they started progressing. And I'm like, damn. And I know it goes to the sparring that we're doing, the Thai style play sparring, because you're always in the pocket moving. Not only that, it plants a seed that you know you're doing that day. You know what I mean? So like Thursdays is our day. Like
Right.
that's
I wake
our
up
day
Thursday ready for it.
Yeah,
You know?
that's-
Even
and-
Wednesday night, I go to sleep. I like get a good night's sleep. I don't eat much in the morning, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and we didn't really miss any. That's the other thing, like making sure you're
Every week.
there. You know what I mean?
Every
It's
Thursday.
huge. But go ahead, like talk about a little bit how we start the class out and stuff like that.
What do you mean how we started the class?
With the breathing exercises. and
Oh,
how,
like the actual class.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do some like weird breathing shit. I don't really know what it is, but it's like I get a bell ringer off of it. You know what I mean, dude? And like a cool kind of bell ringer,
Yeah.
like one of those
It's
like
that natural. I don't know. What would you call it?
It's raises your pH, it oxygenates you. And I found out, I think you're actually tripping a little bit off of like the Kundalini yoga.
that's why we like it.
Wait, this is Thursday at what time?
Yeah, like the Kundalini yoga part of it, they say you could reach DMT states like that.
Right. Russell Brand does that.
And I have but I have to fast for a long period of time and do the breathing exercise while hanging upside down on an inversion table.
That's insane.
yeah.
That
And I could pull this way. I go on the inversion table like I can pull on the bars, and like you figure out how your breath is so crucial, and like your flexibility, how it's connected, and not even that, like power output with how you breathe, and like how I can breathe a certain way and stretch to get my like spine to release. It releases all the way down. Then I press on the bottom of my head, and I put my elbows on the bar. Breathe in real till I feel like it's gonna pop, and then exhale, and it's like pop, 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 and it like does your neck does the center of your spine, and like the lower part of you. It's crazy. You know what I mean?
That sounds trippy.
And that's how I can like my hip movement. My hips, I'm a big guy. They're always sore, and especially with the knee injury compensating, it's like it's painful, and I want to keep that dexterity and that mobility. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the breathing exercises, like I can kick harder. My sauna time increased by like a half hour.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous how much time you spend in the sauna. It's in the sauna for like 2 hours.
Really?
Like hour 45 minutes. Sometimes.
No shit.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly does that help you with?
Heat shock proteins. I learned all about this on the podcast. Another thing I want to get into. How they
Right.
changed
We'll get
my
there.
life. Yeah, but basically, your body like thinks it's gonna die, so
Sirens.
it releases these heat shock proteins, and they're basically like super good for your body.
Okay.
You get the same kind of feeling you would if you did like a real long workout. Like you leave and you feel like refreshed, relaxed.
Yeah.
You get so drained that like. But I drink like a contraption of like green tea and stuff when I'm in there. I'm hydrating. I'm not doing it to cut weight.
You bring
I'm
your
doing
phone in there too, bro.
Yeah.
I'll be getting like text messages, like Facebook messages from like, "Yo, I'm in the sauna." I'm like, "Why are you bringing your phone in there?"
Music's used.
See, when I sit in the sauna, I don't want to like hear anything.
Nah, I do.
I mean, I guess if you're in there,
I feel like if I was in there, I'd need something to like, you know what I mean, keep me fucking sane in there. Yeah. But I was gonna ask that now. What do you got when you guys are training? You guys got music playing? What's the soundtrack look like?
Oh man, like old school bullpen. The gym I'm from originated from pretty much is old DMX, M. Like what else was Styles P.
I love Styles.
Yo,
Jada and
I love Styles.
Styles new album. The new album. I was when I first like started getting back into working out again. I was just bumping that the whole time.
I always said because a lot of people, well, Jada says it all the time. Top 5 dead or alive.
Yeah.
I always said if Jada's in your top 5, I think Styles P has to be right there with it. Like I feel like he's so underrated. Jada kind of gets all the. They're just like they're like they're like. Q-Tip and Phife Dawg, you know what I mean?
And Styles, bro, is moving more into like a meditation, like a more of like a spiritual side, bro.
Well,
it's like
did you know that they own a bunch of juice bars now? That's their thing now. Yeah. That's their thing.
Another band I listen to is the Flatbush Zombies.
I love Flatbush.
Sick. Bro.
Love
Underachievers. Mess with them. They're getting away from like that whole lean, and like it's not cool to be drinking lean and taking perks. Like it's just not. And half the rappers that say they do that shit, they'll have like Kool-Aid and shit in their cup. They're not even. It's just
right.
You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up.
Have you heard Meek lately talk about that whole thing?
I don't know, man. Meek fell off. I feel like.
Really?
I hate to say it, but his new Philadelphia that just came out's alright. I don't like that Stay Woke. I don't really like it. I don't know. Like,
what about 1942 Flows?
Yeah,
Great
you gotta feel
great
that.
song.
You gotta feel that.
I love that. That's like
It's
and
awesome.
the video just fucking that centers me, dude. I'm like,
you know that Joey Badass song that I was I telling you about? Or
You
was
were
I,
telling me about
was
it.
I
One I
asking
played
you
in the
about
gym?
it? Yes.
What's the title? I
Front and
probably know.
center.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
We're bumping that spot.
Oh my god, that'll
bro.
fucking
Come on.
Yeah.
Joey
Yeah.
Diaz, come on.
That'll get you going.
I
That
took my
taps
gloves
into
off
my
to go
wiffle waffle.
He took his gloves off to go. Yeah.
to go look at it. I was like, I need to know what song this is. 'Cause,
I
like,
love that. I love that. Don't you love that?
That's like, dude, Shazam is like the coolest thing on the planet.
It's
my God,
dude.
the
It is the best.
What is this? It's
One
some
of
kind
the
music app?
Shazam, really?
One of the best inventions ever. It's like so. Have you ever been just walking in a fucking Foot Locker and you hear something playing and you're like, holy shit,
What is this?
Yeah.
I have to have this.
Yeah, the way these snares are hitting these vocals, I need to know what the fuck this is. You know, just click the phone and it's been out for a while, but I just got it recently.
Oh, really? I've had that for a long time, and I
Yeah.
like have kind of built playlists from the Shazam. What I usually use it is on the Spanish station. Remember that Nicky Jam song I played for you the other day, X?
Yeah.
Remember I played that in the car?
Yeah,
I found that on Shazam when I was listening to 93.9 down here.
Yeah.
It was like, it's
Oh,
just
I
got
hate that
this.
station, bro. 99.3. I hate all
No,
the sounds.
93.9.
all right.
It's a Spanish station, but that 99.3 is bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
they
they
play the
suck.
same.
What is that called? The Buzz, or
Buzz,
something?
it's horrible. They play the same songs over
They
and over.
do,
It's
but
bullshit.
it's just like any other fucking radio station
Right.
that's out now. I'm tired of the radio, dude. I really
Music's
fucking am.
crucial.
I've been tired of the radio.
Music's crucial though. Every day, like when I wake up, I have this little ritual I go through. Like,
so what's the morning routine?
Yeah, run me through it.
Oh man, like first thing I get up, I learned this from Aubrey Marcus's podcast. He's got a little segment he does called "Own the Day." It's like how to go through the day productively, and like these little biological tricks, these biological hacks that we have. First thing I do before anything, people want to run to the coffee immediately. Like, you know what I mean? Like let's drink coffee.
That's what I do.
Load it with sugar.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Load it with sugar. Load it with cream. And I know as an athlete, you can float a pound of weight in your sleep. Like if you ever go to sleep camping in a tent and you wake up and there's that condensation around, it's like wet inside the tent. You're expelling water vapor. You know what I mean? So your body's repairing all that damage it did throughout the day. It's repairing your brain. It's repairing your muscles, your nervous system. And it takes salt to do that. And not table salt. Like I use pink Himalayan sea salt. And I do that in the morning to hydrate. That helps you retain the water that you're drinking so you don't just piss it out right away. Then I'll like chill around. I do my stretching, my breathing exercise. I make I'm taking like so many different medicinal mushrooms. I'm taking turkey tail mushroom. I take Paul Stemmon's My Community. We just ordered a stock load of that. That's a blend of 17 different mushrooms. And like lion's mane, it's a nootropic, good for your brain. The turkey tail it can get rid of viruses. It shrinks tumors. You know what I mean? And I got like weird things, like a swollen lymph node under here that popped up.
Oh, really?
I had MRSA before. I called MRSA. Like,
Did you catch that? Where'd you get that at?
Jail. I got bit by the canine. I got bit by the canine, and they had like
MRSA from a dog.
Well, the dog bite. I got I don't know if
Infected.
they can see it. Can they see this right here?
Probably not.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Can
you
you
see it? Yeah, this this scar right here.
Slower.
Yeah.
Can we zoom?
Yeah, so I got bit by a dog. I had a little incident where I had like a year clean. I wasn't doing any drugs or alcohol. Opened my own gym. Was killing it. Got in a relationship right away like an asshole. You know
of course.
That's why they say these things. You know what I mean? Especially if that person's not like all the way where they need to be. And it's hard. You know what I mean? So I ended up getting an argument with her and drinking. I was staying in this old beautiful house and out in Mullican near Batstow, and
you're a country boy, aren't you, man?
I like the woods.
You don't like the city.
No, I hate it. And so I drank I was looking for an extension cord, long story short, in the house before, and I remember finding old cobwebbed up cobwebs all over it, old Jose Cuervo unopened handle. So what is that, a gallon, half gallon? I don't know. But whatever it is,
1.5 liters.
I just killed it because I didn't want to feel that pain I was going through. I thought I was just going to pass out and wake up. You know what I mean? Just sick or alcohol poison. Well, I woke up and there's like SWAT team, canines, a cop I knew.
SWAT team?
A cop I knew. I'm like, yo, Loopy, am I dreaming? He's like, nah, bro, you're going to jail. He's like, look at.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like,
Loopy.
He's like, look at your leg. I look down at my leg, my femoral artery's hanging out of my leg.
Oh shit,
and it nicked it. Well, first apparently I choked the dog. I got assault. All these assaults.
Oh fuck.
Apparently somebody's collarbone got broke. Some crazy shit. I just
Apparently
allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly. Yeah.
So if
this is all.
It's alleged.
I did like 20 grand in damage to the house, like destroyed everything in the house, took the banister off the first floor, threw it onto the first, and like that's how scary, terrifying. This isn't to brag. It's like I'm an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of course.
They had like AR-15s with lasers on me, ready to shoot me. It was a 2-hour standoff. Apparently, I didn't have no weapon. She had a weapon. She got crazy with the gun.
What?
Yeah, and I was trying to leave and. It got insane. So the gun, I put the gun lock through the gun, and I told her get it out of the house. You know what I mean? And I thought she wasn't coming back. I thought she was staying at her parents. And when I drank that tequila, I just thought I was gonna like just wake up, like I said. And yeah, I went into surgery. They actually, I didn't think they get my BAC back in time before the surgery, but I was like so over they could have killed me, just put me under anesthesia.
Really, because your BAC was so high?
I bet.
Yeah, it was dumb high. I didn't feel right for like at least a week straight. I felt like. Can you hear me?
So this was a standoff that ended in the dog
The
bite?
dog saved my life, bro. And I don't remember this. People are like, "Do you got PTSD from dogs?" Nah, bro. I love dogs, but like, because I don't remember none of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? None. I can't tell you. All I remember was drinking that, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's because of brain damage that I've had over the years, because when I was in high school and shit, I wasn't a drinker, but I could have like a beer or so and be fine. But now it's like I drink, I try to kill all my friends, and I just don't know.
You think that's from just getting like fucking clobbered in the head for
Dude,
so many years?
My grandpa was a state trooper. He was a boxer, and I seen him go through the whole dementia bullshit. Right. And it's one of the worst things that can happen to somebody. And my grandpa was such a strong dude, man. Like boxer in the Marines, lieutenant in the state police, just straight. Like even when he was old, he was still scary because he just had that like that aura about him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to see that happen to where you start losing things, and it's fucked up. So, and I can feel it. I've done the research, and like, they talk about it. That's why I'm taking the lion's mane mushroom. Another guy with Joe Schilling was just on the podcast, and he had a horrible motorcycle accident. They didn't know he was going to live, let alone fight again. I can't remember his name, but he's taking the lion's mane with some niacin and stuff like that, and bringing his cognitive. He's sparring everything already, and it's only been like a few months from the accident.
That because when you're always telling me you're like eating all these like different kinds of like mushrooms and shit, like I'm like, this dude's fucking nuts. Yeah. But I never thought about like funguses are really the most prevalent organism on the planet, right? They're absolutely everywhere all the time, and there's billions and billions and billions of them. And funguses, and it's cool because like one mushroom, say it's growing in my backyard, right? It lets off some millions and billions of mycelium. They can travel forever.
Spores, yeah.
And keep going. Yeah, spores. I'm sorry. And like when I was studying turfgrass science up at Rutgers, they had this guy who was like the #1 mycologist in the world. Like they fly him to China to look at the, they fly him to China like look at golf courses, and the #1 pest on golf courses is different types of fungus. Like they eat the grass and all this kind of shit. But I was like studying how they like reproduce and stuff like that, and there's like 5 or 6 different types, and I don't remember because I was shot out when I was going, but they it was like mind blowing, like what they can do, and it's like weird because it's not a plant, it's not an animal, like it's a fucking fungus. You know what I mean? It behaves like similar to both, but not at the same time, and they're really just everywhere. So it occurred to me as you were talking about all these funguses is that like there's definitely solid evidence that these things can help you over the long run. You know what I mean? Like, and if you know that like you're getting hit in the head and shit like that, like having some of these, like introducing these things while you're still young might help you like benefit in the long run. Exactly.
I saw the podcast with Kat Zingano. She's got brain trauma. She got knocked out. They're doing some kind of magnet thing, and it's apparently working for her. She fought. I don't know how she did. She fought last night, I think. Yeah, but there's eventually with science progressing, I think they're gonna come up with something. I'm hoping. But at the end of the day, like I think about it, like how do I want to live? Do I want to live being like a pussy and like just not this is my passion? Do I like want to take the safe road and always think like what if and like hate my like I don't want to. I'm working an auto parts store right now, bro. That's right. Like, and I know my talent level is. I know I sparred with guys that are in UFC. I sparred with top heavyweight boxers now. You know what I mean? And I just know the heavyweight fight they had in with Daniel Cormier card, Ngannou versus Derek Lewis was the worst fight ever. You know what I mean? Like they're unathletic, and Ngannou was scared because he got lost to Stipe before that. And it was just a boring. They didn't engage or do shit. So. You're there with me. You can see like I'm like hip movement now, and that all comes from my boy Moto. I met him when I was away 5 months working.
Which is funny because I can't remember if I met him when I was living in South Philly or he knew a bunch of the people that I knew. I'm pretty sure I met him right before. Because when did he pass away?
What, a year ago now, I think, or a little more than that.
Yeah, so I think I met him when I was living in South Philly, which would have been. Not this January, the January before I was up there. And I think I met him. If he passed away in like, say March or April of last year, then I definitely met him. I just, I can't remember.
Yeah, he was a running back. And like I was always a strong kid doing like bench pressing and all. I was a strong wrestler. And he looked at me and he's like, bro, he's like, I can tell like with your hips, like doing little drills and stuff that he was trying to teach me. He's like, I can tell you can move different. And I always had those wrestling hips, and then he just applied it to. And Muay Thai and stand-up, everything is balanced. Like that's why these heavyweights aren't good, and that's why heavyweights don't mature until their 30s. Like it's a known fact, and your brain catches up with your body apparently.
Right.
Now everything is moving and synchronized. They're synchronized together. And like he had me doing all these drills, lunge kicks, ladder drills, and when I got out, bro, it was like night and day difference. I'm sick.
When do you think your next fight's gonna be? Is that something you're thinking about yet, or?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like if I don't try to take it to where I want to take it, and I know what my talent is, I'd hate myself for the rest of my life.
Right.
Now, if something greater than myself comes into play, like if I got sick or if it's an injury where I can't come back from, I'll coach, you know what I mean, and that'll be what it's meant to be. Maybe I was meant to coach or doing it, but either way, I'm going to be involved with the sport for the rest of my life. You can't, once you do jiu-jitsu especially, like you never want to stop doing jiu-jitsu. It's just like never-ending knowledge. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool to like, you know, to meet somebody and talk to somebody that like has a true passion. Like you own the gym, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And then when that stuff happened, I had to close down. But I'm in the process of making something happen now. Atlantic County, man, like I hate to say it, but it's like getting real soft in the MMA. Like we never really had to, like all the good guys are like different gyms. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now like one of the two best gyms that you go to are closed or closing. And I really want to open like a no gi, no kimono. I don't like doing the gi a lot. I mean, when I'm older, I'll probably fall in love with it a little more, but it's just slow. People hold you. I don't really like it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to do something like an MMA gym. I want to have yoga involved, breathing exercises. I have a whole idea about how a gym should be ran, and it's hard. Like I'm at 6'9". I love these guys. You know what I mean? They gave me a chance. You know what I mean? And
Steve's a great guy, man.
Yeah, Steve. You know what I mean? It's awesome, but they're predominantly a gi school. Like when I want to roll with somebody, they're like throw a gi on. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for some people, I feel like it's a safety blanket a little bit, like because you know it's slower. But either way, I'll put the gi on anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just
that's sweet though. Yeah. No, that's cool that you want to attack like all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Body, mind, spirit.
Yeah, and that's what Moto was all about. We called him Flow Moto, and his just like he's somebody I would love to have when I did fight, like in my corner, like back there with me. You know what I mean? Like in my corner, because it was like he's just a huge influence in my life.
Yeah.
And like spiritual warrior, like he would like wake me up at 6 a.m. at the program to go see the sun we weren't even allowed up there, but like on the 4th floor, see the sunrise. And then we'd look at Borgata and be like, yo, you're going to be fighting there, bro. And then when I got out,
motivation.
When I got out, bro, I went to the gym, was killing it.
Yeah.
People were like, you weren't in no program, you weren't like in no rehab, bro. I'm like, yeah, because the first thing I did was
and it seems like you're really putting the work in too. You know, it's one thing to sit there and look at the Borgata and say, oh yeah, one day I'll fight there, but you're actually like doing what you got to do to get there. So.
Running stairs.
I was just gonna say that. Weren't you guys running stairs when you were there?
Yeah, and I'll tell a story again, but this is a huge like part of like you can apply this to every aspect of your life, and it's about suffering when you're in the past or when you're in the future. You're suffering. I ran the stairs in the morning, right, and this is where it hit me like I had an epiphany. Like me and him like are running, and when you first start too, like it's like morning, you know what I mean? You're not even fully awake. And if you start at that first step and you look up to that like 5th floor, you're like, fuck, you want to quit. You know what I mean? Look at the step right in front of you and see you'll be up at the top before, and you're like, oh shit, I'm up here. It's time to go back. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just concentrate. And the same thing on the way down. Just breathe. Worry about your next step. Don't worry about the bottom, because that's when you're gonna trip and fall. And that like that's my life, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if I get like even now, I figure I'm getting the surgery. I'm getting that tingle already. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to handle this? Because I know, like, it's over as soon as I, like...
Once you start projecting about the future, it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, so now, instead, even that's over. Even though it's positive future, nah, it's overwhelming right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just do what you're doing. I don't like my job, but I get through my... It's not that I don't like my job.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not it doesn't contribute. Like going from coaching and, like, seeing, like, I can change people's lives, like, and help people, and they help me, like... I got just as much help from you guys than like me coaching you, because like I can't go full blast. I'm a heavyweight fighter. I can't go full blast at these guys, and even the guys that do fight pro, the lighter guys, I can't tag them real hard. But I'm getting that movement. I'm in the pocket. You know what I mean? And I'm a counter puncher now. I never was. I always came forward, wrestler, straight forward. Now, Brian, you see me, I'm sharp. You know what I mean? Just counter,
quick. You're dropping weight too.
Yeah, huge. I was 280 last summer.
That's nuts.
And I noticed that I was at the water park, bro, with my wife and my stepkids. I walk up the steps, I'm like, fuck this, bro. What are we doing here, bro?
Yeah.
Just because you get that in your head. And that's like people new in recovery too. Like you can go to a 12-step meeting and sell steroids. You could make $1 million selling steroids.
Oh,
bro.
absolutely.
Yeah, because
Everybody wants to, you know what I mean?
They want to be big, and that's not what it's about, bro. If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be that don't powerlift. In high school, I'm benching 425, going to powerlifting competitions, winning, deadlifting 705. I'm 18. I can't sleep.
Right.
My shoulders are numb, bro, and I still feel the effects to this day. I'm smashing football pads and benching 420 for what?
Yeah.
What is that helping me, bro? When is this like even like
Right.
It's more pulling and grip and athleticism. You see some of these guys, bro, and like they can't even hit mitts. It's crazy.
Right,
they can't hit mitts, right? Because they're all buckled bound up.
So since you brought it up, man, what's your opinion on that? The whole steroid thing in recovery. Is it a drug? Is it not? Is it healthy? Is it not? What's
There's so many gray areas, it's not even funny.
all right,
bro.
let me hear your opinion.
Like people in early recovery know, your brain doesn't heal. This is a known fact. 12 to 18 months after you stop drug use, and what does help with that is high intensity exercise. Really can like expedite that whole process. That's why it's so crucial for people in early recovery to get moving, not just program. That's why I like Surfside's whole model. That's why I love Ian, what he's doing, and that's why when I met him, I was like, dude, we got to get Muay Thai up in here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because you can't just program all day and not like appreciate nature, go out, use your body.
You gotta have fun.
Another thing about sparring with these guys, like getting punched in the face after using it and being numb for that long, actually is like makes you feel like you're alive. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I'm a human. Like I'm real. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Getting hit in the face like that a couple times, like
Brian loves it.
Like listen, like once a week though. You know what I mean? Because like I'll get all high and mighty and shit like during the week. And then I go to class, humble. Bro, and Sean or you and Chris and like some of the other guys like fucking rock me. And it's like, it puts me back in my place for the rest of the week until I go again. You know what I mean? It'll be on like Tuesday and Wednesday. I start to get a little hairy. And then I go in on Wednesday and I get put right back in my place.
This is something,
and it's great.
Something I've always said, police, that a lot of cops train. Because why wouldn't you? If you're out there like putting your life on the line and you're not doing jiu-jitsu, you're not taking your life serious.
Yeah, no,
like,
it should be. It's necessary.
Yeah, and they want to like a lot of them want to lift, put on TRT. You know what I mean? Get all huge. And
TRT is the testosterone replacement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is easy to get. You just abuse steroids and then don't take an off cycle. You take a short acting like a suspension or a pro, and then by the time you go to the doctor, like, oh my god, your levels are low, like, and you're a cop, so there's like
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the thing that there's so many people in recovery that are doing that and are defending it. You know what I mean?
You can't defend it. This is the only way you can defend it is if you go to the doctor. Which anyway, people, I talked about this when you're doing Suboxone, dope, methadone, your test levels are in the basement. We talked about this before the show.
Right.
Like at first, you take a pill or an opiate, you get the dope dick, you're banging your girl forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's awesome. And then like after that, you can just feel like you'll do push-ups and not get a pump. You know what I mean? You'll do, and there could be the hottest girl ever in front of you, and you're not even, we talked about it, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, nah. Because your test is so low, it's like, it's not good. But you got to wait and see what happens if you're at an age to where it might not recover, if you're in your, 40s, 50s, or even if you have a percussion, people that, like, even people that, like, musicians that have that the music like loud bass and stuff like that can affect it.
Really? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Can it affect your testosterone level?
Yeah, and blast like. So
all those years listening to loud bass in my car.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that level, but
that's
maybe
why I can't get my shit up.
But soldiers coming back from war, like veterans, are having like this one guy was on the podcast, on Joe Rogan's podcast, and talking about like they couldn't figure out what's wrong with him, and then finally they did his test levels, and like, damn, they're like seriously like dumb low, like crazy.
Which is weird because you would think somebody who is just coming back from war, his test levels would be through the fucking roof,
right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, all jacked up and shit like that, and like been working out and your body's in shape.
But don't they medicate them coming back sometimes?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they're not looking at testosterone. They were ignoring the testosterone.
Right.
Your glands stopped making the testosterone because of the percussion.
Or maybe they want it low, right?
Yeah, you actually you can get a traumatic brain injury from a percussion blast.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Well, yeah, that would definitely make sense to me. Yeah. Like a traumatic brain injury from something like percussion. Rocking you. You know what I mean? It's like a bomb it'd be like a similar effect. Like for you getting hit in the head too many times. Like a blast is a blast. It doesn't really matter what it's coming from.
My grandpa talked about when he was in Korea or whatever. He was the guy that called out like like the direction for the tank to shoot. He'd lay on the side of the tank, and he said when he first did it, nobody told him like cover your ears or anything like that. He didn't even think, and that whatever that cannon, that boom, and he said he didn't feel right. You don't feel right. It feels scary when you get it, and I've had a lot of concussions,
right,
and things don't like reality and like what's real gets real like blurred, bro.
Right.
And it's not a good feeling. And I can only imagine that just being stuck in that. Like you're there, like they talk about Ali, like he said he was there, like he would write, like you know what I mean, but he couldn't just express himself, and he would forget, and it's scary, man. But,
Do you know the local boxer around here, Dwight Muhammad Cowie?
Nah,
No.
I might have seen him in the gym or something like that. But,
Yeah.
I know like the boxers I know around here, like the Carlo Perez, Antoine Akins is fighting. Dan Pasicola is a heavyweight. He had the title in New Jersey. He lost it to my other boy Keon Davis, and you know, and what I want for this area is we have a lot of talent and stuff like that. I want everybody to come together and like help push each other. Like the best fighters should be training with each other.
Right.
I go up to Tom the Blasses, and that dude takes me in, and you know what I mean, with open arms. And he's we have the benefit of having the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world in New Jersey.
really.
In the world, like Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, their coach Tom the Blast, they're all Ricardo Almeida, Henzo Gracie guys.
Yeah.
So they're just, you know what I mean, all leg locks.
Yeah.
You go up to that gym, like I'll beat a lot of people. The hardest match I have around here is like this guy Gidris.
Yeah.
And he's got like my style, like a lot of pressure, scar fold.
Yeah.
But I go up there and it's like, damn, I got leg locked within like 10 seconds.
Is that
Yeah.
up in
And
Ocean
that's
County where you're from,
yeah,
Joey?
Ocean County.
Where?
Forked River.
Oh yeah, Forked River is
Yeah.
like the exit before mine, right before mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what's it called? I never really got into like UFC or MMA or anything like that. I'd like to though, you know what I mean? Like I was telling Brian, I want to come by one day and train or whatever. The only thing I know about UFC is that Frankie Edgar is from my town. He went to Toms River East. I went to North, but
Legend.
that's pretty much the only thing I know about it. I was always like kind of more into boxing, but like it seems like especially over the last 10 years, UFC took over, dude.
Yeah, it really blew up.
How long is it? When did it come out? When did it first come on?
93.
93, really?
Because I remember seeing something on some show where they were like fighting in their backyards.
Yeah. Well, the Gracies.
For real. And then
Really?
that became UFC, yeah.
No shit.
I think. I mean, if I'm remembering right.
Well, no, it was gym challenges. So I would love to do that like around here. You know
Kimbo,
what I mean? Like,
Kimbo Slice. Remember
Yeah,
those
no, this
videos
is-
when he first
yeah.
came out?
This is way before Kimbo.
That was like at the beginning of YouTube. Like when YouTube
Yes.
first took
Yeah,
off.
remember
it was-
that? Yeah.
I remember watching, I can't remember what the website was, but it was like the precursor to YouTube. And I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like they're posting videos online and just anybody can post them.
That-
Now look where we're at now. You
I
know
know.
what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, that might have been my first YouTube video, was a Kimbo Slice video.
And that
Yeah,
Unforgivable video, you remember that?
oh,
Yeah, that shit's funny. So
that shit. Yeah, I used to
waffle
watch that shit on
fries.
MySpace. Yeah.
Free. Bitch, give me a chicken sandwich and some waffle fries.
yeah, but getting back to that whole what we were talking about, that testosterone thing. No, like if you get your levels test.
So you vote no?
No, hell
Okay.
no. Bro. Like, and
Are there any
motherfuckers wanna-
mushrooms for that?
Any what?
Any
For-
mushrooms for test?
Like there's cordyceps that help. There's all kinds of. There's basically like a
Cubensis,
mushroom-
maybe?
Nah. Well, I'm not gonna get into that because you know what I mean. But microdosing is something that like I have a little reservation that I want to do. It's like taking a small amount that you don't feel, but it's like 10 times more effective than any SSRI. I know they talk about. I know who it is, but a pro kickboxer that does it, and you can see and hear better. So like you can, and one dude is like deaf, he couldn't hear because like a neuropathy nerve thing.
Yeah.
And while he was microdosing, he could fucking hear for the first time in his life. Gets rid of stuttering. People that stutter for the rest their whole life.
Right.
One
Right.
spiritual, and it's a. Bill Wilson talked about implementing after 20 years. Acid.
Who's that? I'm just.
The co-founder of a 12-step program, and implementing the use of LSD. And that was for people that were like hopeless, that couldn't have a spiritual experience.
Right.
And that would bring them, like, there's a reason why it has an 88 succession rate and or cessation rate in quitting smoking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like 88% after one like spiritual experience with psilocybin. And I think Nicorette gum is next to that or follows that up. That's 15%. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So like it's-
15%.
Yeah,
That's what I'm on right now. I'm chewing it right now.
You can have
your pack of smokes sitting right there.
It's in my pack of smokes, actually.
This is the thing. I've seen lights. I've had like doing the breathing, the Wim Hof on the inversion table while fasting. I've seen lights. I've had like a pop in my chest and my back, and when I release my breath, it was just like. First, it would only be, you know how we do it? I don't know where it goes with you, but you feel it in the head, like a head buzz.
Right.
And I was able to like push it down. That's what you're supposed to do. Like
hold that head thing down.
Like you pushed it down and it goes through your whole body, and it's like you're tripping, bro. It's like
No shit.
Yeah, when I'm like really on my game with meditating, it's like I could feel my head. It almost feels like it's like rising up above like where it physically is. Like I have this marker of where it physically is on my body, but like I can almost feel like I don't want to. I guess like my soul is almost like up, like starting to move out of my body. You know what I mean? And it's like a really weird thing to try to describe what it is, but it's like. It like moves up, you know what I mean? And I guess I kind of describe it as like the consciousness kind of like, you know, elevating a little bit over the actual physical
seeing
body.
Yourself,
yeah, but it's like it's a more physical feeling than actually a visual feeling of seeing myself. You know, it's almost like the spirit has risen over the body rather than like actually like seeing myself. Like I've smoked a lot of PCP before and could actually see myself. But like this is like a totally different feeling. Yeah. What are you laughing
at?
But
describe like the actual feeling though. Like what do you feel?
It's like it's like almost if you focus like on the back of your spine, like what it feels like at the base of your neck right there, and it's like that part kind of comes up. You know what I mean? And it's like if you close your eyes and like you're still like you have a frame of reference of like where your eyes are, but that kind of like comes up when my eyes are closed.
Wow. Yeah,
it's really cool, man.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
When people would talk about this shit, I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself." Like this is bullshit. Plus, being a wrestler, like I'm like I came in a little hard at it, bro, and being humbled and like learning, and the podcast really changed my life. Like the podcasts are a huge reason why like I'm even surviving and alive right now, for real. Like just when you don't have the team, you're not really clicking with anybody. Like I had the team, I had the positive motivation. I had Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz, Theo Von, Chris D'Elia, like a bunch of these podcasts I listen. Jordan Peterson is huge psychiatrist.
He's a guy from Canada, right?
Yeah, monster, bro. Like just listen to him in the morning, bro. Like that's the other thing. I listen to part of my morning routine. I listen to motivational videos.
Do you? So have you ever heard of Eric Thomas?
Yeah, Quincy Rodriguez. I had him. Life-changing counselor. I never thought I could relate to him.
Really?
At John Brooks, because he just did 10 years for. He wasn't an addict, so you know, like that's kind of to me somebody that's never been in a fight before trying to coach you. You know what I mean? Right. It can be done, but like his story I could relate to. Like, and like just he did 10 years and read The Power. He gave me a book called The Power Now.
The Eckhart Tolle, right?
Yeah, he gave me a book, New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. We read the Book of Five Rings. I read that before, but revisited it while I was there. And dude, just reading like that time period was just to like a training camp. Yeah, like that's how I looked at it. Like I was desperate, or like I was at the end of my road. Probation was forcing me to be there, and everything was dark and negative. And once I like accepted where I was and just looked like at all the blessings around, every time like my higher power, whatever you want to call it, blesses me, like you just gotta like try. You gotta see, you know what I mean? And every time everything works out, like I'll go somewhere and they'll be like, even in our class, like two dudes did Muay Thai for like the kid Alex is a monster, and then Sean, this kid Sean, I'm like, dude, have you fought before? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, well that needs to happen like ASAP. And
but you mean fight like professionally, like in
well,
the ring,
an amateur
right?
Muay Thai fight.
Right,
I'd like to get him maybe move him into MMA once I work on his ground a little bit. But I can just tell the heart. You know what I mean?
He's got it, man, and everything that kid does, he's got that like I call it the killer instinct. You know what I mean? He's got that instinct and that like internal drive, which is what you have too. What always blows my mind is people who like our boy Alex. He like just watches so many videos, and it's like I can't do that, dude. I don't have the patience for it. You know, like I'm interested in all these things, but I can never get myself to keep doing it. You know what I mean? And that's like he tags me shit online all the time, and I watch 80% of it, but it's like I can't sit down to do it. You know what I mean? I can't slow myself down to like watch all that stuff.
That's all I do is podcasts and motivational and instructional videos, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. That's all I do.
I'll have to get a list of like people to listen to from you because I've only ever really fucked with Eric Thomas. Like some of the stuff he has on YouTube, some of the people that like people like throw together a couple clips from him speaking and whatnot like that. But I think he's awesome. He's got a crazy spirit, you know.
Yeah. Joe Rogan too.
Joey, hold that mic right in front of your face like that. Yeah, it was kicking out, wasn't it? A little bit. Yeah.
It was kicking out.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan too. He's changing the world in my opinion. Like the podcast in general, the format, like 2 to 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like you're not just getting like clips out of things. You know what I mean? You're getting the whole context and how the whole conversation developed and every part of it. You can't get a real feeling of a conversation just by getting a clip of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could make that look however you want. You know what I mean?
Right. He, I listened to like one podcast of his, and they were talking about how there's this technology growing that like they can take audio bites, right, and really make, because you think Joe Rogan's got well over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
So he said probably almost every word in the English dictionary. So what they can do is they can pull words out and make sentences of stuff he never even said.
And they got that facial thing now. I don't know if you saw that. They can recreate your face. So
Everyone's going to want to recreate this face.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm sure they will. So imagine if you did that. You did the face and the voice.
Right.
You could do some stuff with that.
It's like never even happened, but they can make it look so real and sound so real. You know what I mean?
Kyle Dunnigan dude that does the Kardashians and shit. Have you seen him?
Oh yeah.
He does
that
the
shit's
face swaps,
funny,
bro, and he does Trump. And it
Who is-
looks like the person, Kanye. Oh,
Yeah.
What is it?
He's a comedian. He has an Instagram page that's like basically a channel, and it's just funny as hell, bro. He just says off the wall shit like he's the Kardashians. But he's talking about Bruce Jenner being pregnant, and he's like, "Oh, I better get this thing out of my butthole." Like it's crazy, bro. Like all this crazy shit.
but he does the face thing.
Yeah,
right?
but it looks like them. So he'll have it like split screen.
Is
So he'll
that-
have all 3 Kardashians and like Bruce, but it's like a split screen, and they're all talking, like having a conversation. So think
That
about
shit
how
is
hard that
crazy.
might. Think about
Yeah,
how
that
hard
takes
might be
time,
to
bro.
piece all
That's-
that together. Like,
yeah.
even
Is he the
with,
same
like,
guy? Is he the same guy who put Kanye on his face and he like made that whole song?
I think
And he was
so,
talking
yeah.
about how it was when he was like getting fat or whatever.
Yeah.
That's him. Yeah, that shit's funny, dude. That takes talent. Who are you
This
talking
guy
to over
texting
there?
During the pod, he needs to get slapped on pure
Dude,
principle.
you know,
principle,
I gotta look stuff up, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like,
All right, so you vote no on the roids
Steroids,
on
bro.
record. What about you, Bri? What do you say? See, like I say no, but I don't know enough about it. So when people like challenge me, I don't know what the fuck to say. You know what I mean?
If they really have a problem, like a thyroid problem, if they have a pituitary gland problem, whatever, if something happened, if they're old, they abused like drugs, and their system can't bounce back, they're getting their blood checked, and their test levels are low. That for a male, bro, that's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Everything comes from testing.
everything.
Motivation.
Like, yeah.
So
But I'm talking about the people that are purely doing it to
No,
get bigger,
no.
looking for results
Right,
like that. You know what I mean?
I tell you right now, I'm going on tests.
So,
Like when
wait.
I'm done fighting and I'm old and
Right.
I'm fucked up, I'm trying to get everything if I can afford it. Stem
Load it
cells, growth hormone tests, like, but not like I just want to be like Joe Rogan does. Like he looks good. You know what
So
mean?
I was always told that
Right.
there's like if you just do what is it HGH?
Yeah.
That you can do HGH. It's healthy.
Yeah.
It won't hurt you, and it'll help you build mass. Is
I
that-
mean, I don't know. I would think that's the safest one if I had to guess, but I'm not like qualified to like.
Right.
But yeah, but like trend. That's the other thing. Motherfuckers want to get on trend, bro.
Trend's anabolic steroids,
Yeah,
right?
but listen, trend comes from like they gave it to cows and like bulls and shit. It came in little FENA pellets, and they would melt them down in like a bathtub and like inject that shit, bro. But trend, like I've seen people do it, and their skin's purple. They can't breathe.
Yeah, see, I don't like putting anything in my body like that'll.
that. Trend is where you get the fucking roid rage, fucking
Right,
the
right,
whole.
right,
that's
right,
trend, bro. It's not.
You don't like a little crocodile?
No crocodile.
Crocodile on a Wednesday?
Oh my!
You might
God.
flip your girlfriend's car over on trend, bro. I know a dude that was talking about trying to flip it. Like he was out there like lifting his girl's car on trend, bro, arguing and shit. Yeah,
That's crazy.
this dude Jay, bro. Shout
Yeah.
out.
The one thing I always thought, like, all right, so we have steroids, right? Like they're around, you can get them. Like, why don't they figure out how to make them chemically so they're not damaging to your
Right.
body, and then just give them to everybody?
Yeah, I mean,
you know, have these like superhumans. You'd be like, you know, like Captain America, like just all jacked up, like Superman. You know what I mean? And like, I mean that goes into a deeper question of like, you know, what should you really like adulter to the human body? You know what I mean? And then you get people want to say, oh, well, you know, you can only have like, you know, vegetables, and there's like raw food vegans and all this stuff, and they're like, we only eat stuff that's from the earth. But like, when it comes down to it, it's all chemistry. It's all chemistry. Like, granted that this plant grows out of the ground, it's molecules. So what molecule really makes a difference about what molecule it is or where it actually came from? You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like I always get in this arguments with people who there's a difference between people who are vegetarians and vegans, and then there's a difference between people who are like vegans or vegetarians who are adamant against you not eating meat.
Them people annoy me, bro. I don't know why, but they really annoy me. I don't know. Like they're like Joe talks about it. Is like how it's usually something vegan in their name, and they're like in their Instagram name, or
right?
Like Joey Vegan, you know what I mean, or Vegan Power Joey.
Alan
like,
Vegan.
That becomes who you are. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, man. They like protesting outside meat places, and like, dude, like, come on, man. And like, your vegetables that you're eating, unless you're growing them yourself and doing everything yourself, like. Thousands of animals are killed, like ground nesting squirrels.
Right, yeah.
Well, I just read something about that. Like, it's something like for every avocado you eat, right? Because all the avocados come from Mexico.
Right.
So it's like these vegans are getting all avocados in their salads, and that's killing all the forests in Mexico, which is where all the animals live and
it's like
reproduce.
That's why I don't even bother trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like I get in these arguments with people who are like adamant against not eating meat. Like I don't mind people like at all. Like why would I mind if you like just want to eat plants? Like go for it. But like don't shit on me because I like want to eat a cheeseburger.
Brontosaurus.
It's like, but what people don't fucking get is that like, all right, so they're living organisms, right? Like a tomato plant is a living organism. Yet you have no problem killing a living organism, but like you draw the line, like a chicken. I'm not killing a chicken. It's a living organism. Like you're killing a fucking plant. Yeah, you're killing a
yeah,
mouse.
but I mean, you know,
It gets too crazy to even talk about it.
Well, what it
because
is?
there's no end to like.
I'm not big on killing, but I love eating meat. You know, I'm not
Right.
going to kill the animal though. Probably not.
No.
I would love to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can bow hunt.
I
mean,
watch,
look,
I
it'd
watch
be-
Bambi too many times.
Exactly. It'd be a different thing if like you walked into the Outback and you were like, you know, I want a sirloin or whatever,
Right.
and they were like, okay, come to the back, pick out the fucking cow.
Right.
I want you to kill it. And then, you know, we'll fucking cook it up
Like,
for
all right,
you.
just give me a salad,
it's
dude,
Like,
like,
it's like, whoa,
I'm
dude.
good.
Like, that's... But it's not like that.
You got any avocado?
I remember
Yeah.
the first thing I ate that we killed. Like I had the BB gun and my.
Would you shoot a fucking squirrel
Well,
and
yeah,
like,
well,
fry it up?
Well, yeah, I got. Well. So anyway, I had the BB gun. I'm
He
young.
ate a squirrel.
I'm young. Before I was a felon, I can have BB guns. So, anyway, so I have a BB gun, and I shoot the squirrel nest. They run out, and then my boy would blast it with a pellet gun.
Right,
And
right,
then he was
okay.
all like, he was a hick. You know what I mean?
Right,
so he would
right,
just like gut the thing, and
What was that?
I think I hit some.
Oh, you did? Oh, was it the spring?
Yeah. They would gut the thing and I would eat it, and it was kind of weird. Like we just saw it alive and now we're eating.
Right. Yeah, it's
trying
crazy.
to
weird.
squirrel,
That's-
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Just
that's-
'cause I don't want to be a
I
pussy.
missed that. You ate a squirrel that you killed with a BB gun?
Yeah, well, a pellet gun.
That's
I
some-
shot the nest with the BB gun. It would run
That is
out,
some
and
hick
my
shit.
boy
That
would
is
bang.
some backwoods Richie
That's
shit.
some
Frog
that's
legs.
some water boy shit.
frog legs, like
Gee.
casting a treble hook into a pond, like a water retention pond, and fucking just reeling it in and getting like 6 baked toads. And my boy would cut the like, dude. I grew up like in the woods, bro. Like even though it's Mays
Right.
Landing, like I lived in the outskirts. They're like Mill May, halfway between Millville and Mays Landing.
See, that's a part I love about Jersey, right? And I was talking to somebody about like moving out of Jersey earlier today, and I've lived in, I think like 10 or 11 states. It's somewhere between 9 and 11 states in the past 10 years, and I always come back to Jersey.
God
always.
damn.
I
the
do
f-
like it, but
It's the food, bro. That's why I come back here. It's for the food.
It's the water.
You think so? It's the water.
Atlantic City has some of the best water around.
yeah, that's why they
South.
say our pizza's so good in New York and Jersey. Something
Yeah,
with the water.
it's the water. All the water from New York comes from like reservoirs from the Adirondacks, I believe. And there's a huge-
Adirondacks.
yeah, the Adirondacks. But
yeah, shit. No, I agree. I haven't lived in 10 to 11 different states, but I've lived in maybe I don't know 3, 4.
And part
At
of it
least.
is probably because my family's here, and that's why I come
Yeah,
back. But
that's a
it's
big
like,
part of it.
So
It's so cool that you can go from Philly to Atlantic City and it's an hour drive, and there's so much diversity in that hour drive. It's like a 45 to 50 mile ride, but the diversity is ridiculous. You go from city and then it gets more suburban and then it's country and then you go back from the country back into suburban, and there's like guys out in Millville and out in the country in Salem County, and they're flying rebel flags.
Some of them, bro. I had an ex-girlfriend, bro. I swear to God, she was from Morris River or some shit, out near the East Side Jail or something. I don't even know, bro. I went out there and it's I was transported into deep down South Alabama. Everybody had no shirts, even the women drinking beer.
Really?
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
This is where?
Out in Morris River. I don't even know how to say it, bro. Morris River. Some shit like that.
Do you know what county it is?
Salem, probably.
Is it Salem?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Salem, yeah.
But it was
Salem's out there, dude.
It's different, huh?
Salem's where Woodstown is and stuff, right?
I think so.
Yeah, once you get out Woodstown.
Cowtown?
Yeah.
Cowtown's out that way, right?
Woodstown is wild.
There's a town called Cowtown?
It's like a flea market, a giant flea market. It's called Cowtown, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rodeo.
Flea market.
They kill their own steaks.
They definitely do.
They definitely.
They fight the bull and they kill it.
They don't eat any avocados in Salem.
No, they do not.
They probably have squirrel at the fucking buffet.
It's got the tail on it and
Kill your
everything.
own squirrel.
What other kind of so you eat squirrels? What other weird shit do you eat?
Squirrels and mushrooms.
You eat squirrels.
My boy that just passed, bro, and that was just one of my boys who's a huge inspiration, powerlifting and stuff. When I was younger, I looked up to him, huge, bro. And he passed away, and he always talked about I'll give you as much deer as you want, because he had a little hunting, he took people on hunting trips. So I was supposed to do that, and I seen him a month before I was gonna go out to Vineland and grab a bunch of deer meat, because that's some of the best things. It's grass fed. It's from here. It's from where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, deer meat's awesome.
Tastes delicious too. Tastes delicious. When I lived out west, I used to eat elk. I actually ate a goose out west one time. The guy I was working with in my golf course shot it with an AR-15.
Oh my god!
Blasted this thing, dude.
This is a perfect example. We used to go out in the woods in Seattle. When I lived out in Seattle, we go up in the mountains. It's 30 minutes. You're up in the mountains. And we're up there with my AR-15 shooting, bottle caps, cans, stuff like that, and this moose, which I guess is the same as an elk. I don't know, moose, elk.
No, they're two completely different
animals. Are they?
The moose is humongous.
Okay, it was a moose.
Yeah. Was it brown? Like a
big
dark brown?
It was very dark brown.
Yes. Did it look like Bullwinkle?
It did, actually.
It looked like Bullwinkle. So
I believe it was
definitely.
He's eating Bullwinkle, and
no, but I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it.
Yeah,
it was right there. It came right into our little spot, right? And this big ass, whatever it was, moose elk, staring us down. And I got my AR-15 loaded, ready to go. But some people might kill that thing, right? That's like a prized animal. I couldn't do it though, man. I couldn't bring myself to do it. It's just a sweet Bullwinkle.
Until that thing's in rut and fucking tries to.
Someone else probably got it 2 miles down the road, but
yeah, they're
when they're in the rut or whatever, when they're mating, they'll just kill you.
Oh, they will. Yeah, they will definitely fuck you up.
When I was in Wyoming and I worked on this golf course, they would we'd have calls out on our radios. We had I don't know, walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
And I would get a call on the radio and it'd be like, there's a bear on hole 8. So, just don't go near hole 6, 7, 8. No, you know what? Just stay off the front 9.
Come on, bro.
But, they all were packing out there. And I was the only one who didn't have a gun because I was from Jersey. And, in Wyoming, if you have a driver's license and you don't have a criminal record, after 6 months of having your license, you can conceal carry. It's not an open carry state. It's a concealed carry state. But it was culture shock. I would go out there and I'd go to the grocery store. People's windows would be down and their gun would just be sitting on their dashboard. And it's
nuts. It's a whole new fucking world.
It is Wild West.
You try that shit over here and you're fucked. You know
That's
what I mean?
what we were talking about is if I could change one thing, or the one thing that sucks about this area is the police. You know what I mean? I feel if I lived somewhere in Colorado, or even my grandpa used to have a house in PA, and you might not even see a cop unless there's a problem. You know what I mean? Here, they sit on the Black Horse Pike. I had that little incident. I'm on my way to the gym to train a cop. You know what I mean? And my wife's on her way to work. She's driving. They pull us over, and the dude was a young cop, was young, skinny cops scare me. You know what I mean? Just tell you straight
Fresh
up.
on.
Right.
Or I don't know, like he just looked like he didn't train, period, or like know what the fuck was going on. So
yeah, probably 22 years
we
old.
pulled in with ample enough room to have. We had a taillight out there. No, it pulled him in with enough ample room to where he could come to her window. She was driving. He came to mine. And when I went to look back inside to see if he was coming, I looked back. He was already there, and I was like, "Whoa, what's up, bro?" Like, you know, still cool. Like, that's the only time he could have thought I looked a little bit suspicious. You know what I mean? Then he's like pulls her out of the car, and like I had a restraining order against me before for like an ex-girlfriend in like high school and shit. And like I guess they have the right if you've had a restraining order. I didn't know this, so all these police that I'm cool at training with tell me they can pull her out and ask her if she's okay. So they pull her out. They're like,
because you've had a restraining order on you once in your life.
It don't matter, yeah. Anytime,
really,
yeah, an active one. So
yeah,
and they last forever. It don't matter when it's from.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So they pull her out. They end up asking if there's guns and weapons in the car, and she's like, "Dude, search the car so I can get I gotta go. I'm late for work." And then the lieutenant and all these cops come. I have it on Facebook Live. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And then one of the cops knew me.
Yeah.
My uncle's the HD cop. I don't talk to him that much anymore. We don't get along too much, but you know, they should know me, and like I'm doing. And that's the thing about being in recovery is like, yeah, I had that incident with the cops, but I train cops. Like I've had like 2 different cops, like shit that I showed them or they learned in class, like directly. Another girl in the military, she was coming home at the bus station. Some dude tried attacking her, and she used like what we learned, what I taught her in class. You know what I mean?
That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, dude. That's why like coaching too, like. It's something you showed somebody, being able to see them like use it in like real time. It's like there's nothing better. Like you coaching a kid, then he pulls off a move you show him in a tournament. Like, come on, bro.
No, I can't imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
You know? And when you're in there like cornering people, I'll be doing that forever. I feel like too, because like I cornered my boy Matt. What was this like last year? He had like a losing streak. And I went and I don't know if that was the difference, but he was sick. You know what I mean? He just had that tough. You got to be a psychologist, bro, if you want to be a trainer with fighters, because fighters are fucked up most of the time anyway. Like we've been through some shit. You nobody just really wants to fight. That's like a normal human being. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, you gotta like know how to deal. Some like could be bad. I seen some dude. I'm not even gonna mention a name. Like rip somebody that's in UFC, and then like he had a losing record when he would go to fight because he would just have this thing come over him. Kind of like Ngannou looked when he fought Derek Lewis. Kind of like because he got lost the fight before. He's not even there. It's a shredded, ripped monster that knocked out Alistair Overeem, and he's just not there. You know, and that comes in experience. He was new. He was just a freak athlete. They threw him in. Now you don't really have that you haven't been through what everybody, you kind of just blew up out of nowhere. You haven't had that grind that everybody has. You haven't been through the trenches. And that's the other thing, like my boy Jared Gordon, who's in UFC, he's a recovering addict. And he said that like same type thing, like after what we've been through, like in our addiction, you've been through the trenches. Like you can't imagine what the trenches are unless you've been in active addiction, especially doing the shit I was doing. Like you just want to die, bro. That's all it is. You want to die. You've lost. Basically, with me, I feel like if I feel like I have no hope, that's how I get trapped. I need if I got a little bit of hope, like Batman stuck in that fucking when Bane banishes him down into that jail, and he sees that light, like and his back is broken, he's fucked up, broken down, bro, like. And he's got to get out, but it's like his last chance to get out. He's got to do it with no rope to actually make the jump. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you know you have a safety line, I'll relapse again. I'm good. If you think like that
was my insurance card.
That's a great analogy, by the way, though. And a great fucking movie. And Bane, Tom Hardy, great fucking actor. By the way, have you ever seen Warrior? Dude,
was Warrior the movie? I watched with you at the house. And
Brian didn't like it.
I didn't like it, man. I thought that movie was bullshit.
It's a little, you know.
It's like hokey.
I thought it was great.
It's good. Like the story's cool. I like that he was fucked up. He saved people. He was in active addiction and training kind of saved him, brought him back, and he didn't get along with his brother. I've kind of that. Like I have 2 brothers, 3 brothers, 4 brothers on my dad's side, and a sister, and then I have 2 brothers that I grew up with and a sister. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, fighting like for me when I used to box, like it's a confidence builder, you know. Yeah. And if you, it's like same with addiction. If you fight through, like Brian just starting to fight, right? You came in, you didn't really know how to fight. Now you're practicing, you're working it, you're taking hits, you're getting hit in the head, you're learning to hit. Like that's got to be huge just for your confidence in life and everything.
How does it help you in everything, bro? Like
man, I mean, it's really hard to describe because it goes across so many different facets. Like, I can look back in the past, like, year and a half, and there's, like, a bunch of pivotal moments that, like like really changed how I acted, right? So one of them was I took this camping trip up to Vermont, and there was this like 30-foot cliff into a quarry. I did not want to jump off this thing, right? And I'm standing there at the top, my like legs are shaking. I'm like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And the most ridiculous thing about it is that there was 15 people jumping before me, and they're all fine. So I'm watching them like jump and be cool, and I'm like, I'm gonna die, like. But it's so irrational that like I'm watching something go on, watching them go. They jump, they go in the water, they swim, they climb back up, they go again. But for some reason, I think I'm going to die. So that moment when our friend Carter passed away, that was another huge moment in my life that I figured out like if I can get through this, there is almost nothing that's going to stop me from getting through something else, you know? And then most recently is training with you, you know? It's just like in other avenues, it's just like I learned to push myself. I learned to push myself. And I also learned that like if I get knocked around a little bit, there's like something else that needs to get worked on. You know what I mean? And, you know, I remember first couple classes, I couldn't even throw a hook, right? And I'm still kind of wide with my arms, you know, and I need to learn to get tighter. But now it's like...
I thought what he's doing that, I'll be like, that's why I like teaching actively, because I show him his mistake. It's like,
right.
If you
and
relapse,
film it too.
if you relapse or whatever, you start fucking up in your recovery or in life, like you can get that off sometimes for a little bit. Do it in my class and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, if you had like a relapse trainer there with you all the time,
it's like instant. Like,
dude, imagine that.
Yeah. It's a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah, you just hire somebody and like when they see you fucking up, they just bitch slap
just
you.
Follow you around.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be a new career for you.
For me, just bitch slap.
Why'd you throw that wrapper out the window?
Yeah.
Wham!
Just walk around with a fucking choke collar.
You stole the pen.
Electric
Zap
collars.
him, yeah.
You stole the pen from the bank, bitch.
Why you trying to fuck that newcomer?
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my.
But it like fixing mistakes like as they come, and then I think one of the biggest parts is probably asking for direction and then be able to listen and then do it like right after. Like
huge.
When me and you spar all the time, like I love going with you and then Richie when he was there and then Chris and Sean, and like I go with those guys and then I get tuned up. I'm like, all right, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. And how can I fix this?
And how can I fix
in
it?
between me switching from this partner to that partner on the fly.
Right. And when you start to get it, when you start to have success, it's, you know, you got to take the hits to win, man. You got to take the hits to learn to succeed.
100%.
And when you take those hits and then learn and succeed, it's huge. It's everything.
Got to take L's, man.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I want to talk about is like how like that is like painful. You got to go through it and it might hurt, but that's how you grow. And the same thing, like Duncan Trussell, I listen to him a lot
His
too.
podcast is great,
Sick.
man.
He's awesome.
Great.
He's like a spiritual, like
Who exactly is he?
he's like a comedian slash like hippie slash like he follows Ram Dass that.
Okay, and he's got a podcast.
Yeah. Joe Rogan's boy.
All right,
but
was it
check
Duncan
him out.
Trussell Family Hour, right?
Yeah,
Is that the
it's
name
awesome.
of it?
Yeah,
It
check
gets a
him
little
out.
weird. I fast forward past the beginning sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's like long, like drawn out, like weirdness. But sorry, Duncan or whatever. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, they like. All right, my back, for instance, I'm doing all this inversion table shit, and my back's never felt better. And I learned that from a podcast. Try it. My father-in-law had one. I still have it. I borrowed it indefinitely.
So will you try anything you learn in a podcast?
If it's positive, and I think if I can find the means or the ways to do it, which is pretty much means and ways to do anything.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The only thing I can't afford, like I'm like before they ban it somehow for fighters, I want to get stem cells in the bloodstream like ASAP. Like,
Yeah.
Stem cells?
in the bloodstream. They take it out of your back. You go to Mexico and get it done, and take it out of the fat in your back. They melt it down.
That's something I would never do,
Yeah,
no matter
that's
how many
something I would
podcasts.
100%. That's something I would 100% would do, because you
Yeah.
heal faster for the rest of your life. Like
Oh
it's
my God.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
yeah. It's
What was
sick.
I was watching last week tonight, and I can't even remember what it was. It was the most recent episode, and I think it was like gene therapy or something like that. And what they were doing is, picture like the double helix, like a DNA strand. And what they were doing is they can cut out a piece of the DNA and then replace something in there. And that's how all these topics of like designer babies and stuff are popping
Yeah,
up.
gene doping or whatever now is going to be the new, like, there's going to be you don't need steroids anymore. It's just going to be a super fucking human created in, like, basically a lab. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the thing is that they're so fucking far away from doing that.
Not really, bro. I don't think they are. I think within like the next
No,
10
people
years.
are already doing it.
Yeah, they're already doing it. Like, who knows what the fucking Russians are doing, bro? They're all fucking. You see that movie Icarus about the steroids and shit?
Yeah. No,
Like,
I
they
didn't.
just banned them from the Olympics altogether. Like, you're out.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I did hear about that.
I don't know, that gene therapy thing is like it's cool for a number of reasons, right? Like they say, like with Alzheimer's, like dementia, autism, they can like specifically find the gene that it is, cut it out, and like replace it with the fix. So like for that stuff, it's kind of cool, but then it begs the question of like what is it, eugenics, like what Hitler was trying to do, and then create like a certain kind of race. It's like this good and this bad. It's
But that's like what, isn't that what, I might be wrong, but isn't that what like LeVar Ball did, or who's the dad, the basketball, whatever his name is? Didn't he specifically picked that one chick from the Olympics that won the Olympics or whatever?
Fucked her and then made a super baby?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds awful.
Dude, pretty much.
Good
like,
idea.
Like, think about it. That's not far off from what we're talking about.
Like, fuck, that'd be like Brock Lesnar or fucking like Serena Williams.
Dude,
Yeah.
it
That'd
happens.
be like a super
It happens.
big thighs.
It's like amateur gene, that whatever you call it.
right. See, but like the thing is like all these kind of gene therapy things are really it's quick evolution is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like over periods of time, like all right, take a wolf for example, right? Over a period of time, you went from a wolf to a poodle, right?
Yeah. No, for
So-
real though. Every
so-
dog comes from a wolf.
Every dog comes from a wolf, and you look at a poodle or like a Pomeranian, and like that doesn't even closely
the
resemble
fuck?
a fucking wolf.
But then
So-
what about those little tendencies that they still do have? Like cats too. You could be like, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, that's a
lion.
Yeah, like a little lion,
Yeah.
pretty much. Like, damn.
Can't stand cats.
I hate cats too. They're just they're annoying as fuck.
Certain cats.
You look like a cat guy.
No, dude, not at all. Not at all, dude. I'm a
He
fucking
does look like a cat
woof,
guy.
woof, woof, woof. I love dogs. You know what I mean? Dogs are like.
Yeah, I like dogs. Dogs are the shit.
Yeah.
I did like that Aristocats movie when I was a kid, though. Remember the Disney movie?
What's
I
the one with
do,
the?
but I don't remember. Like,
Nah,
I remember the name.
Oh, Five Goes West. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
With the cat, the fat cat, and the mouse and shit.
I don't remember that. No.
Five Goes West, no?
No,
American
yeah,
Tail,
yeah,
that
yeah,
movie,
yeah,
yeah.
of course. I also like the what the fuck was that called? It's like the mice and they go. Was it the Adventures Down Under?
Oh
they,
yeah.
They flew on like the back of like an albatross or something like
Yeah,
that.
what the fuck was that? Australia.
The Rescuers Down Under.
Rescuers Down
Yeah,
Under.
that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Didn't they have that dude? It was a bear that flew a plane and shit.
Yeah.
Like a Blue. Was his name Blue?
Blue, that's the Jungle Book is blue.
No, yeah. What was that dude's name? He drew like a biplane, and he flew a plane, but it was a bear. I thought that was Rescuers Down Under.
Was it a
I
cartoon?
think it
I
might.
think I know what you're talking
But it was
about.
like a
It was a
TV
real-
Tailspin.
Tailspin. That was it.
Tailspin.
Throwback.
Yes,
bro.
throwback. dude.
Tailspin. I don't.
Young Jamie.
What year did you graduate,
Right?
Yeah.
76.
No. So, dude, you talked about like that, being at that place you were in your active addiction, where like you basically had no hope and whatever.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you have, if you did you have like that little bit of hope? You know what I mean? Like you use the analogy with Batman. He saw that little bit of light, you know, at the top. Like, what was it for you that you kind of like climbed out of that fucking abyss?
The meditation and being able to. My wife is huge, bro. Like she hates it when I say like you stuck by me when I was down. So that's like that's the reason you like that. Like for anybody who's been down or like been locked up, like everybody bounces, bro. Like nobody besides like close family and shit or like really close friends, if that, everybody's gone. You know what I mean? And she stuck by me. She saw something. You know what I mean? And she stuck by me and like she's a huge part of like giving me hope. You know what I mean? She like handles my money. Like when I work, I don't get my paychecks like right in her account. You know what I mean? And like now I'm finally like I got a DUI and a driving was suspended in my addiction and haven't had my license. So I'm getting my license back, doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? And that's where everything is coming into. All these pieces are coming into play right now, like perfect. That's why it's so fucking crazy. Like the knee surgery was or the knee injury, blessing in disguise. Even going to Seabrook to the rehab, being at the lowest point of my life. I feel like I needed to go through all this shit in order to progress. And
How long ago was that, if you don't mind me asking?
what 6 months, 7 months ago?
I think so. Yeah. The crazy thing is,
I don't keep track at all. I don't give a
Okay.
fuck. You know what I mean?
All right.
Some people want to keep track. I don't like.
No, yeah, I'm just curious.
the crazy thing is Seabrook. You know what I mean? Like that's how me and Joey met, right? And then the same connection, like Seabrook, like that's how like we came into connection more or less. You know what I mean? And it always blows my mind is that like these series of chains of events that had to happen in all of our lives to be able to come together at like the same point to do what we're doing. It like, yo, what were you talking to me? You were talking about some real trippy shit to me the other day, bro.
Like,
oh, dude. It hurts, bro, and I can't even think about it. You were talking about like what was it?
I love conversations like that. I love and hate them.
Was it
determinism versus free will? Like, do we have free will? Do we have it? Or is everything predetermined? As far as like predetermined to where if we reset all of us right now, we'd be right back here. You understand? Like,
right.
That's trippy.
Was there any other way? Was there any other future for us?
Yeah, like it just gets like
that's some shit. Yeah.
It's a hard
that's
thing to
like,
try to digest.
And it's like your free will could also be determined. You know what I mean?
I know,
and that's like when you said that to me, that's the first thing I thought of. Well, maybe like, yeah, we have free will, but like the free will is already planned.
Well, yeah.
You know
I mean, if you believe in fate, right? It doesn't. That's basically saying, what do you call it? Determinism?
Yeah.
It's predetermined.
Fate, yeah. Everything was, you were supposed to, and that gets trippy because that's how I feel right now. Like it gets, when you look at all the negative and you just wallow in that I'm a victim and I'll never get out of this and I'm just fucking, I'm going to, like, I got in a car accident. That's what started my addiction. I never did drugs. I was an athlete.
Yeah, that's right.
I was an athlete. Got hit by a 90-year-old lady before my second title fight. A doctor I was training, he calls me, where were you at? You didn't come to train me. I was training at his $1 million house. He's like, here's 120 30s. I didn't even know what kind of doctor he was. He was an anesthesiologist and a pain management. You know
wow.
What I mean? So like, yeah. So like all this stuff that happened, like I believe like every little person I met along the way, every little lesson along the way makes me. That's what like Jared talked about before is like what are you gonna do to me? Like I'm the one beating myself. Like when I actually, the hardest part is just getting to the fight. After that, it's autopilot. Like I've done enough. Mike Tyson talks about it, and this is a crazy thing. I've talked about it before, but he said he'd have nightmares of his opponent beating him, like leading up to the fight, and he would wake up and realize it was a nightmare and be like sweating, like good. You know what I mean?
Gotta get to the gym.
Yeah, so he gets to the gym, works harder, and he does everything possible. He's still afraid of his opponent up to the time he gets to that fight. And as he's walking, he hears his entrance music. That's when like you can hide from everybody else, but you can't hide from yourself. Your ego can push off enough shit. And you could like believe that illusion, but then when it's game time and it's time for you to get tested, whether it be in your recovery, whether it be in your relationship, as far as like cheating, all that shit, anything in your life, when it's time to get tested, if you didn't do the work, I believe, to survive that moment, you're most likely gonna fucking fail. You know what I mean? So he talks about like he feels invincible. That's what runs through his head. Did I practice hard enough? Did I do more work than this guy? And then it's like yeah, I did. You can't. And if you actually did it, and he gets in there, it's like I'm the greatest in the world. And
it's almost like checklist. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Drug dreams too. That's comparable. You have a drug dream. Some people are like, I got high for free, and they like that. What the fuck? Like, if I had a drug dream, I wake up like, oh my god, thank God I didn't get high and ruin everything that I'm fighting for right now. I got one off.
That's happened to me a couple times. Like when I was serious about my recovery, like really trying to do it. And
I'm getting the high sign from Jay Slack in the back that the battery on the camera's almost dead.
We got cheap shit around here.
So we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's save that story for another time.
Yeah,
next week.
How much time we got left?
What is it? Is it like blinking red or?
Yeah, it's blinking. I can't tell you how much time.
Is it still recording though?
It is.
All right, cool. All right, so dude, I mean, we covered so much shit. We probably could have went for another 3 hours. What I need to look into is finding some direct power source to that thing, so we can just run it off of electricity and won't have to stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man, and we were really really
609 jiu-jitsu, bro.
we were really getting in a groove. So, subscribe to our YouTube page.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to be on here somewhat very shortly. Yeah. I'm super excited about how we got all these like mics set up and everything. Like this is solid, dude. We're gonna really run with this. Follow us on Hakuna Licata Productions on Instagram, Choke Artist MMA on Instagram, and in each one of these posts you'll find like all our personal pages too. So keep checking us out. Al, thanks
for coming, bro. It was a pleasure talking to you, man.
Just trying to spread what has been given to me. You know what I mean? Like through podcasts, and I feel like this is how the world in general is going to evolve. Like if everybody works together and shares their feelings. feelings, not be afraid to shoot,
It's
not
connection.
be afraid to cry, not be afraid to tell people how you feel. That's holding that inside. That'll kill you. You know what I mean? Just
100%,
being able to
man.
talk and have this little bond that we have is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's nothing like it really. Nothing like it. All right, thanks, Al.